Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Indeed, Matthew. Who let the dogs out?
I would say that bastard St. Louis Ram that broke my quarterback's knee. Let the dogs out.
He absolutely let the dogs out, and we're going to see whether or not the dogs can come to play tonight and get us a win.
I hope they get us a win. Do you think some point during the season they'll have a dog night like PNC Park?
I absolutely doubt it.
No? That'd be kind of fun.
I think the people are going to boo him tonight. I really do. Yeah.
Really? I don't know. I don't think they're going to boo him. Pittsburgh, yeah, they might boo him.
Well, we'll find out in a few short hours. And we're actually starting this podcast at 5:30. We normally start at, like 7:30?
Yeah, we have a good hearty meal.
Yeah.
And then we swing into the podcast mode.
That's right. And we're going on an empty stomach. Delling's about to crack a beer, so he might be a little tipsy.
Taking it slow as usual, you know.
He's got beer all over his computer. And I'm going to be...
excuse to buy one.
I'll buy it off you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want this. Watch way too much porn on it.
Did not need to know that.
Hey, when I sell something, I'm an honest person.
Are you going to put that on Craigslist?
No. This thing's supposed to last for like another 5 years, hopefully.
MacBook Pro in good condition. A lot of porn.
Lots of porn. If contact user, if you would like to know preferences.
He can keep some saved on there for you.
That's right.
So anyway, we're here at week 4 of the podcast. Technically week 2 for us. Detonators, Tonto Bowl 6 champ.
I'm Matt Detling, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champ. Would you like to taste some of my beer, Brian?
Sure.
Sure. We have a limited release seasonal session Terrapin beer called Maggie's Peach Farmhouse. Malt beverage with natural flavor.
Alrighty.
Peachy keen.
I'll give it a try. Alright, let me see here. That's peachy.
Peachy keen?
Yeah, peachy keen. I like it.
Excellent.
It's decent. Yeah, millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
I like it. I love it. I like it a lot. It's got a nice little taste there.
Yeah. Let's say goodbye to summer kind of beer, you know?
Summer's leaving. However,
Yeah.
as long as it stays 70 degrees, I'm happy. When it starts dropping below, I get a little pissy.
Alright, so we're going to try and keep this around an hour. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull that off or not. We got a lot to get to. We're still making up ground from last week, and you got anything to start it off with?
We were going to keep it under an hour. I really was hoping to read the first chapter through the third chapter of Moby Dick live.
You're going to have to put out a separate podcast for that.
Figured the only person that would appreciate it would be Justin, actually. Since he was maybe Kevin Bean, too. Both English majors.
Josh is a dick.
No denying that one.
Sorry, I mean, I've got to throw some cheap shots in
And his
there.
favorite band is Moby.
Sorry, Josh. I mean, we're going head to head. They're going to be flying tonight, so gloves are off. We're both 0-3. You know, may the best man win.
I believe there might only 2 people are buying tickets to this match, and they're the owners of the football team.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Jimmy might, because he's also 0-3. You might want to see who loses.
True. Jimmy does like a good battle of losers.
Yeah. So, let's get things started.
Let's do it.
Unfinished business. So I want to start this unfinished business off with just pointing out that, you know, this happens to be National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I'm very shocked that you knew that. I have no idea.
You know, I just think it's a good cause to get behind. I know the NFL is behind it. I'm behind it. You know, it's just good to have a cause to support. You know, it's good to have something that's near and dear to your heart, and you know want to stand behind.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's people are getting behind the cause as opposed to I would rather be in front of the breast. So that's just me personally.
I didn't know where you were taking that. So, I mean, I think most people in our league have like a really good cause they want to get behind, whether it's some kind of research. But there's one guy in the league, I feel like he's a little petty. You know, he doesn't really have a whole lot to really stand behind, you know, a good cause.
Who is this guy? I feel bad for him.
Me too. And it's Craig Kubisic.
Ah, Craigie.
The only thing I feel like he really stands up for is Antonio Brown's 5 for 50. I mean, he I think he actually was wearing a ribbon this week. I think he's got an AB ribbon.
An AB ribbon. 5 for 50. It sounds like a good deal at Giant Eagle.
He might have the 7 for 70 as well. But he goes on and on about this 5 for 50 crap, and I personally hope that he loses the streak tonight. I hope that that Bell just goes nuts. Maybe Vic gets a touchdown.
I totally hope that.
Heath Miller gets it in the end zone because I'm starting him. And
Heath.
I hope Antonio Brown goes 4 for 49.
Gosh.
I think it would be a beautiful way for it to go out,
Do the Steelers still win?
No, they still win, yeah.
Okay,
because
the
of
only
Bell.
root for that.
Because of Bell and Heath
Bell,
Miller.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Heath Miller too.
Heath Miller, a touchdown. Yeah, get him on.
And I just feel like the only 2 people in the world that care about this are Antonio Brown and Craig Kubisik. So
True.
I just want to stop. But then, we won't ever hear the end of it because it'll be like, Michael Vick ended that streak,
Yeah, brother. Listen, it's a bogus streak. I know I've watched a few games where they've gone to the end and they're winning by 2 touchdowns and he's got 4 for 42 or something.
Yeah.
And they throw him a catch just to have that record, keep it going, which is garbage. I hate when people do that. Why do teams do that? Oh, let's extend your streak just because we know we can. You didn't earn it.
Right.
If it's garbage time, that's dumb. It's
you
like
think
the league.
Vince
the garbage.
Lombardi cares about this?
No, he cares about a win.
Right, he cares about Super Bowl trophies. Who cares about these stupid made-up stats?
Yeah, and then it's just going to come bite us in the ass when Pittsburgh has to somehow pay Antonio Brown all this money because they think he's a number 1 receiver. And then all of a sudden we go back into hell again.
He is the number 1 receiver.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
You really think so?
Yeah,
I would take Julio Jones in a minute over him.
No, I would take AB.
Why? On what grounds?
I just think he's the all-around receiver, man. Julio Jones is too, but I'll take Brown. Does Julio Jones return punts?
No.
There you go.
But I'm sure he would if he could.
But he doesn't.
But can freaking Antonio Brown catch a 75-yard bomb over a 6'2" cornerback?
I think he could.
No, you are wrong. You're out of your mind.
All right, well, he could catch it and then juke around him.
No, this stuff in the corner of the end zone. Julio Jones is amazing. I'm not denying that Antonio Brown is amazing too, but I'm just saying they're just 2 different receivers, and for what you're going to do for game changers, I just feel like Julio Jones, we might not get Julio Jones. What do you have 13 catches for 186 yards, 2 touchdowns last week?
Yeah, but AB does that. AB does that in his sleep.
He does not do
Yes,
that in his
he does.
sleep. He's got a terrible haircut.
I like his haircut. He's got the Lego haircut.
Lego, what is that? A faux? What is it? It's a faux hawk? Faux hawk?
I have no idea. I think it's like a faux hawk with his it's kind of straightened down on the top. I don't know.
I don't understand it. I don't think it's necessary.
I think you're just hating on Antonio because you don't have him.
Well,
If you owned him, you would never say any of this about him.
that's not true.
That's absolutely true.
That's not true at all.
Say one thing about Randall Cobb that you don't like.
I
rest my case.
I don't like that he's on Jeff's team.
That's not about him.
Huh?
That's about Jeff.
So listen, Randall Cobb's the man. He's better than Antonio Brown.
Wow. I think we should put this up to a league vote. We'll have to start a thread to see who people think the number 1 receiver in the game is. We'll do that. We'll do that tonight. We'll do it tonight.
Call in, give us your opinions. I would. If I had to pick everybody, I would take Randall Cobb out of everybody.
Wow.
I love the guy.
I know you do. It's unhealthy.
We all have our unhealthy obsessions. Some guys it's with women. Me, it's with Randall Cobb.
All right, so that was a really, really long unfinished business, but yeah, I kind of hope AB's streak ends sooner than later.
I guess, but on top of that, another thing to bring up is Craig loves Antonio Brown, right? He basically sucks the Antonio Brown D. Now, when you're watching him on that video, which don't get me wrong, I love the video.
Yeah.
I was probably the second person to view it. I waited for it. I do stand by my computer until 12:30 night on Tuesday waiting for this recap because
And you gaze into his eyes.
so there's no other way. You have to. I can't walk away from it. I have to hear his voice and see him at the same time because if I
captivating.
it is. If I walk away from Craig's video to do something else, his voice just becomes background noise, so I don't pay attention to it. But no, so he does this video, right? And he touts about how much he likes Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's a man. My team is awesome. Well, and then he gets up and shows his shirt. He likes to call it his Antonio Brown shirt, but it's more like the Walmart version of a Pittsburgh Steelers. What was the old brand? Hutch.
Yeah.
It's like a brand new It's a Hutch T-shirt for a 36-year-old
From Walmart.
from Walmart. Yeah, this isn't Antonio Brown. Craig.
Maybe Value City.
Sure. I don't think it exists anymore. Value it. It's even worse. But no, so Craig loves this. Craig, you are a single 36-year-old male. You live on your own. You have your own car. These are all things to be proud of. I'm sure, you have a lot of money in the bank. You're saving your money. You're a penny pincher. You're a cheapskate. We all know this. You pay pennies on the dollar. You will, if somebody says a dollar, you're like the old, what do you call it, In Living Color skit with Chris Rock? Or is that the one where he's like, $30?
Good Lord.
Good Lord. What if I give you $15 and this, you get a pinch of it? That's who, in my eyes, you are. Man, do us a favor. If you really like Antonio Brown that much, go out, get an authentic NFL jersey.
At least from China.
At least from China. Go on AliExpress.com. Get yourself an Antonio Brown jersey. Show us that you really do like him. Other than that, everything that you preach about him, I think is a joke. I don't take you seriously.
Wow.
That's what the 5 for 50 streak. Don't take that seriously either.
Wow. Maybe you could one up him and just get a tattoo of like Antonio Brown's face right on your chest.
That'd be pretty cool. Or you could try to get that same hairstyle.
I would love to see that. I'd pay money to see that.
I'll pay for the haircut.
Maybe you go down to Eileen's Beauty Salon, take a picture of Antonio Brown's hairstyle, see if she can duplicate it.
Oh my gosh. Please do, and let us know. There will probably be 11, at least 10 or 11 people from the league to back you there and watch every single thing happen. It would be great.
It would be awesome. While we're talking about his video,
Okay.
the only thing I can't stand looking at is the freaking Hail to the Thief posters when sitting on the floor since the first time you did.
It's framed, though.
It's framed, yeah. If it's framed, put it on the wall.
I agree with you 100%.
I think. When does he do the video?
I think Tuesday nights.
Tuesday night. I think we should drive to his house Tuesday night during the middle of the taping and just. I'm gonna bring a hammer and a nail.
Take it, put a nail on the wall, hammer it up, look at it in the screen, say, "Well, you just go back to
Just
Pittsburgh."
leave.
Yeah.
That would be a worthwhile trip.
No, wait. Craig probably locks the door because he thinks Wimber's not safe.
For the love of God, hang that poster up. It's killing me.
It is. It's killing both of us. Once again, you're a 36-year-old male. You're in your own house. You got your own car. Please buy a nail. I mean, you gotta buy them in packages. I know you're a cheapskate. You need to have them singular. But you can get like 5 of them, man. Buy a nail. Hammer it in. Do something with the VCR TV combo that you have down there with a couple VHS tapes on top of it. I mean, you're the only guy I know that probably has all the boxes from his Transformers still. I mean, in the back of that closet, you see like the Sony 40-inch TV box. You got like 17 boxes down there below. This guy probably has a box for his toothbrush. That's how well prepared he is.
All right, so there's some things for you to think about, Craig.
Yeah, or just close the closet doors, man.
Make everybody happier, especially Delling.
I'm looking at your eyes during the video, but I'm also veering off it around the surroundings, seeing what's going on.
All right, I think that's enough.
Okay, yeah, we're not picking on you, okay? We're just trying to help you.
Helping. Have anything else for unfinished business this week?
Oh, of course we do, Brian. And don't worry, Craig, it's not about you. Kevin Bean. Oh, Kevin Bean. Why do we always do this? I feel like this is such a cycle every year. Looks like you're making a play for that Cleveland Browns pin again. It's only been 3 weeks in.
Front runner.
Front runner. You are the front runner. Looks like you'll be dancing at a rest stop again with the pin. Hopefully not. Hopefully at a Wimber rest stop somewhere. We'll make you dance at the community building.
That would be great.
But how do you, I've never seen anybody not stand by their number one quarterback like you. I mean, you benched Matt Stafford for Alex Smith. Alex Smith.
In week 2.
In week 2. This guy completes 20 passes a game if you're lucky. He's known as a game manager. You basically benched Matt Stafford for the Trent Dilfer of 2016. And then the next week, you don't have Alex Smith, you start Nick Foles over Matt Stafford. I don't know, would you think of the Steelers are going to be that bad that he was going to throw all over them? I mean, this isn't the Eagles.
No.
It's not the Eagles, sir.
No.
Your best receiver is an old Kenny Britt.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Kenny
like,
Brittle.
That's like, benching Matt Stafford and putting in Kyle Orton. It's crazy.
Kyle Orton was better than Foles and Alex Smith by far. The man is amazing.
I mean, he finally has Stafford back in, but this might be the week he wants to bench him.
Yeah, versus Seattle.
Versus Seattle. I mean, who else does he have right now?
Nick Foles versus Arizona.
Ooh, that's tough
That's
too.
that's a flip.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. But I just feel like, and Craig brought it up, you don't give up on your quarterback, your starting quarterback, that quick.
No. Especially with like a guy like Stafford, who everybody thinks is a good quarterback, but he just throws the ball a lot. And the worst thing is he's getting worse and worse every year.
Yep, he's a poor man's Brett Favre.
Not a poor man, a broke man's Brett Favre. Not even close. Like, I mean, Brett Favre's a gunslinger. This guy has a 6-shooter from Target. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's got a cap gun.
Yeah, he's got a cap gun without any caps. That's how bad it is. So that right there is one of the things that has you in the front runner.
Another thing.
Yeah, what else, Brian?
Well, I happened to notice, as many people probably did as well, that you dropped Alfred Blue, and I don't know when he dropped him, but I think it might have been after the first or second week. But
Okay.
the fact is, he must have dropped in the second week because he went off last week. He got like over 100 yards, touchdown.
130.
Yeah. And I just think you don't drop the backup to a stud running back until he comes back. And maybe maybe you don't drop him at all. Maybe you just hold on to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you have a job and you're looking for another job. You don't quit that job before you get a job. Then you have nothing to go on. I mean, that's why I look at it. You got to handcuff your studs. And even with Foster coming back, who knows? You might only play for 4 weeks and then get hurt again.
It's true.
What are you going to do? You're going to try? You think Alfred Blue's going to be there? No, he was picked up in quite the jiffy.
Yeah, and it was crazy that I didn't even have to use my waiver wire spot to get him. Like, anybody could have picked him up, and I'm not just saying everybody should have, but it's crazy that he was there.
It was very crazy. I wish I would have picked him up. I don't have any room.
Yeah. And so maybe Bean can call in next week and tell us about that. Why he dropped him. I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah, maybe it was like a stats thing.
It could have been.
Yeah.
We'll let him defend himself.
Yeah, anything else about Bean? I mean,
let's see here. Let's look at his starting lineup real quick.
Oh, yeah, okay. I did forget about this. Yeah, Bean. So you put Alan Hearns in, and you didn't play Brandon Cooks so far. Maybe this will help you out. Alan Hearns is the number 2 wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And he's currently being started by 5% of all leagues.
Yes, and you have Brandon Cooks on the bench, who's currently being started by 67% of the league. The number 1 receiver for the New Orleans Saints.
And furthermore, Alan Hearns has a total fantasy point value of 34.8, and Brandon Cooks has 35.
That's more than 34.8. I mean, I don't know where your rationale is going, but
I think Brandon Cook's ceiling is much higher than Alan Hearns.
I definitely do. I think he's a better receiver. He's got a better quarterback this week. Gosh, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, you could put in Leonard Hankerson over Alan Hearns.
Yeah. And we're not even going to get into that trade yet.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No,
We're
say
not
that for
gonna
later.
touch that trade.
No.
So yeah, unless somebody really tries to make a push for this, right now you got this Browns pin. I don't want to say locked up, but
You got locked up. I mean, somebody's got to do something really dumb to take this away from you right now.
it could happen.
It could. I mean,
Playoff time or something.
it could happen. It could happen. But the Browns pin is all about taking the team over the year and basically pushing it in its face in the mud.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're
That's true.
I mean, you're imploding, man. I don't know what happened. The algorithms. You didn't trust the algorithms.
I think he did. You say he was using the algorithms from 2014, right?
I think so. Yeah,
saw that.
I've adapted my own algorithm theory. I'll talk about that in my matchups. So
All right, so I think that's it for unfinished business for now.
yes, for now.
Until next week.
Don't stop believing. Ooh.
I've been waiting for that. That's
Music to your ears, Brian.
It is.
I should be playing at the Benedum.
The Benedum or the casino.
Dude, actually, it's a pretty good act at the casino. You'd be surprised. But anyways, yeah, don't stop believing. Bringing it back. This one goes out to Jimmy Huber,
Yep, our fearless commissioner.
fearless commissioner. So fearless, he's about to walk into marriage again.
Ooh, yeah. And that takes some courage, man.
That does take some courage. I mean, I haven't even walked into marriage once, and I'm scared of for him. So yeah, we're not going to talk about your life.
No.
We could have some fun with that, maybe for another podcast. We're going to talk about your team name, the Raritan Pups. We also used to be the Raritan Wolves.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? You know what? Nope. You know what, Jimmy? I got a new name for you. Pussies.
Wow.
Yeah, big bunch of pussies.
Wow, that's tough love.
Yeah, that's what you are, Jimmy. You're a big pussy. Because you changed your team name. Have some respect.
After 3 weeks.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I don't know if it's ever happened to me, but it's happened to some people. I think Craig, it happened to him. He was 0-3 once. So he didn't change his name. He's been Springfield Isotopes since the dawn of man. So you're the Raritan Pups? Is that what you're trying to say? You're some little puppy waiting to get kicked?
Yeah.
You want us to kick you in the stomach while you're down?
Say, oh, look how he's so cute. He's so adorable. You know?
Oh, who cares?
Clearly, you're not trying to pick up anybody in this league. You know, we don't need an adorable puppy in this league.
Yeah, you're not trying to work any trades, waiver wires. We don't see you making moves. We don't see you caring about your team. I'm sorry. Andrew Luck isn't a stud. Deal with it.
Yeah, or at least not yet. You know,
Yeah.
he's a stud, but he's got to find himself again, just like you need to find yourself.
You got to work on yourself, Jimmy.
Have you heard him howl once this year?
I have not. I'm still waiting for that phone call where he calls in and talks about his team and jokes around with everybody and how
Yeah.
about he loves the league, and he gives you that howl, that blood-curdling howl.
Yeah. And I don't. I mean, it's getting close to Halloween. Hopefully, we're going to hear it one time this year, at least before he plays the Huber Squashers. I mean, are you going to play the Huber Squashers with that name, the Raritan Pups? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I might feel bad for you. Might. I mean, are you still sad about losing the Wimber Food Challenge to Gags? I mean, you didn't even make it to through half a medium pizza?
Yeah, he made it maybe like 2/3.
Well,
Root beer crust.
the root beer crust. Yeah, that was your fault right there, man. I mean, so right now what you're saying is you're half the man you used to be.
Yeah, that actually brings up a great segue. I mean, you might want to talk to your doctor. It happens, you know, like when you're in your mid-30s. Something called low T, Jimmy, you know?
Low T.
Yeah, you might need a little boost to the testosterone.
It ain't
you
so,
know?
Jimmy.
You might need to boost that T. Got the low T.
Get
and
yourself some Andro lube.
Take some tea. You know, get the team name changed, and you might be back on track.
Yeah, slow T. I feel like we're all concerned for you. Your future wife might be concerned for you
Yeah.
as well. What's her,
Yeah.
is it Amanda
Amanda.
Spurling or Sperling?
Something
Or,
like that.
I mean, we know her name. We're gonna look her up. We're gonna come. We're gonna come to her workplace. We're gonna have her. We're gonna get her a T-shirt or something that says that. You know, I started dating with Jimmy, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt and low T.
Would you call it a low T?
Oh, I like it. A low TT. There you go, Jimmy. This is bad, man. A couple more weeks of this stuff, and we might listen. We're gonna drive the Winver. We're gonna hang up the Hail to Thief poster in the middle of the video cast. Then we're gonna drive to Providence, New Jersey,
Yep.
and we're gonna deliver you a tube of Andro lube for your low T.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take your girl out. We're gonna take her out for some dinner, you know, and explain to her that it happens to the best of them. We know Jimmy's this big hulk of a man. He likes to think of himself as a Superman. We've seen the outfit for Halloween, and you know what? Even Superman can't get a hard on sometimes. So
Please don't talk about Jimmy's private area. That's absolutely inappropriate.
sorry, man. It just needs to be called out.
All right, you definitely get the Redskins pen for the next year, right there.
Hold on. This is not a reflective time. This isn't me like on myself. This is me trying to help out a fellow friend.
All right.
I mean, I just want Jimmy to be happy.
Okay.
And
I just want him to get his pride back. You know?
well, his pride. The way to get a man's pride back is to get the high T instead of the low T.
That's true. Yeah, we don't want the low cut T.
No low cut T. I do not want to see low cut T. So you know, Jimmy, get your team together. Take a couple days off. You know, meditate. Do whatever you got to do. Start drinking ginger tea.
We don't want to have this talk again.
No, I don't really want to talk about Superman. You're always a hero to me, Jimmy.
Let's take a look at this team for real, because I want to pump you up a little bit. We love the Moncrief pickup. I mean, huge pickup. He's going to be their number 2 wide receiver. We've talked about it before. that's something to hang your hat on.
It is. It is. Yeah, he's definitely better than Old Man Johnson.
Absolutely. You got some nice young receivers here. You know, Aguilar, it's still early. He could come around. You got Victor Cruz coming back when?
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week, which Denley's not excited about.
I am not. I am on the Randall train.
Yeah. Marvin Jones, even though he's like, like the number 2 or whatever, he still gets clutch for some touchdowns.
Who's touted as a big pickup all over the internet today.
Absolutely. So,
What about Doug Baldwin? Sneaky pickup.
sneaky pickup. No, that was around 19 pickup.
And Nate Washington. That's I don't even know where to go with that. I can't believe he's still playing. That's Old Man River right there. He's got a little bit of fountain of youth.
That's true. And Jimmy Graham is back on track, baby. You know, he cried a little bit. He got the ball. What did he get? Like 7 for 70 and a touchdown. So
Yeah, I think
he's back on track.
I think we'll get a touchdown versus Detroit too.
Yeah, I think he's good for a touchdown most weeks. So,
Yeah.
and once Andrew Luck gets back on track, you're going to be golden. You know, just keep your chin up, man.
And once Marshawn Lynch actually decides to play, or Seahawks decide to play and stop screwing around and saying, oh, well, he'll be a game time decision because he has a hammy issue or an ankle issue. Man, he's the beast. He's beast mode.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, of all people that should be on the Raritan Wolves, it should be Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Yeah,
Great
I mean, look at you. I
comeback.
look at your team. Your team is still fearsome.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the hell happened. We know Andrew Luck just. I wouldn't say he stunk up the joint. He's played. He's just listen. It's hard to get used to.
Been mediocre.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, the GM picking up Frank Gore and Andre Johnson. I don't like how people tout this as like these are the great moves that are going to make them win a championship.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. Andre Johnson is 34 years old or something, and Frank Gore is still Frank Gore. Like you don't have a young stud. Like get a young receiver, get a better running back, or get a better line, get some better defense. You've seen Andrew Luck come back time and time again and just win games for them by himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, Josh loved those moves because he picked up both of them in like rounds 2 and 3.
Well, which was explained, but he's 0-3 as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So-
true. I have no room to talk, but you can.
Yes, I can. So I mean, and I was very surprised. I thought Andre Johnson went a little early. Thought Frank Gore was a little early, but I thought the Frank Gore move was better than the Andre Johnson because he's probably the first serviceable running back they've actually had that I think will actually make it through a season.
True. All right, let's stick with Jimmy for now, though.
Okay.
And I the only thing I'll say to wrap this up is that I'm glad that you haven't just made some crazy moves, made some crazy trades, dropped people you shouldn't drop. You're sticking with your team. You're making, a couple little bench moves, which I think is great. So stick with your team. They're going to come around.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Season's not over yet for anybody. It's only 3 weeks in. We got to go to 12.
13.
13, my bad. And as Craig has stated before, the magic number usually probably 99% of the time is 7 games.
Yep.
Except for Justin, that's the 1%. So you could still easily rip off 7 quick wins and be back in the lineup and have us eating crow.
Absolutely. So we want to see the real Jimmy. Will the real Jimmy please stand up?
Yes.
Trade time, trading guys, excellent. Now, most of you are probably wondering, like, do you guys just have that, like, recorded one time and then you just, like, play it every week?
I know. I mean, it sounds like that we are so in sync that we don't even that it has to be on CD.
Yeah, but no, we do that live every week.
We do. We are like 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, we are committed to this podcast.
We are each drinking tea right now for our voices. We would love to send out a CD one of these days of covers.
That would be great. And, Dowling, didn't you try out for The Voice?
I did. Sadly, I was rejected. They did not approve of my song. But I mean, I can't help it if you don't think the band Anal Cunt has artistic equality, Brian.
All right, I didn't see it going there.
No.
No.
Well, maybe you should buy a CD. It was fantastic when I was growing up.
I'll just take your word for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, Simon didn't like it. Apparently, neither did you.
Simon is not on The Voice. That's American Idol.
Oh, well, I was in the wrong place. No wonder. Oh man, lost an opportunity.
Maybe Gwen Stefani or something.
Oh boy, nah. Well, you know what? Yeah, okay, Gwen Stefani.
All right, what's the trade?
Trade is okay. Let me get this right. Dub C, imagine that. We're bringing him back up.
Oh boy.
Traded Carlos Williams, the Buffalo running back, to Gags for Josh Hill and Alan Hearns.
Okay.
So he traded Carlos Williams. I believe he's a rookie, right?
Yeah.
Rookie running back.
Yep.
Who has pretty much been a beast.
Yeah, he's looked good so far.
He's had a touchdown every week.
Wow.
Every week.
I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, and so, but 50 yards, 20 yards, and last week he only had 12 carries. He had 110 yards for a touchdown. And now, this week, McCoy is hurt
out.
again.
Yeah.
He's got a hammy issue, which, I mean, if I do remember me saying, and I do remember myself saying this, that the worst draft pick Gags did was LaShawn McCoy in the first
You did
round.
say that last week.
And I said that McCoy is shit, a piece of garbage. He's a bum. Chip Kelly is a genius for getting rid of him. And so he's not playing. His hammy. He hurt his hammy. So Carlos Williams is going to play against the New York Giants.
They have a pretty good run defense.
I don't know. I mean, Carlos Williams seems like he's a really big guy. I think Buffalo has a pretty good offensive line.
That's true. What I will say is that this trade, I think, might be the trade that Bean needed to make to get rid of the Browns, or that Gags needed to make to get rid of the Browns pin.
So what you're saying is Gags sabotaged Bean to give the Browns pin back.
As of right now, yeah, because now he owns the handcuff to McCoy. You know,
He does,
So
which is
it's a great move.
great move for him. I don't want it for him to happen. I mean,
No, me neither.
we don't like that sort of thing. I mean, if you're going to get the handcuff, that's great. Hey, I got a couple handcuffs out there. They're named Ronnie Hillman, James Stark. So if you want to make me a trade, go for it. Just saying. But yeah, okay. So you traded this beast of a man, Carlos Williams, for Josh One Tree Hill. Oh my gosh, so sick! I told you we are in sync. It's amazing. Josh One Tree Hill, who has got a total of, I believe, 3.3 points all year.
And who's throwing to him now?
Well, Drew Brees is going to throw him to him this week, apparently.
Okay.
Last week was McCown, who, I mean, usually the guy comes in, you're supposed to throw to your tight end because you're not confident in your other receivers, but he was.
Right.
And then there's Alan Hearns, the number 2 wide receiver for the Jags.
Never heard of him.
Never. What?
Never heard of him.
Oh, boy. We're not in sync on that one. Man. But anyway, you gave away a running back for... Brian said you told me you needed a tight end or something, which I'm
That's
looking
what I
at.
heard.
You don't even have Josh Hill on your team anymore.
Did he drop him?
He dropped him.
already?
Like, he's got Gronkowski, Safarian Jenkins, and some other guy.
He dropped him like he was hot.
1990s? Is that the early 2000s? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But so you basically traded Carlos Williams for Alan Hearns. And I look at your roster, and you've got Leonard Hankerson, Brandon Cooks. I don't understand why you made the trade. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Craig, will you explain this to us?
Yeah, I don't even know if Craig is probably trying to prep his food. He's probably like punching his steaks before they're cooked, though. He doesn't need a meat tenderizer. He's using his fists because he's like, gosh, darn it, Bean, why would you do that? And he's just like taking his frustration out on it. And Justin Mahork's probably scared.
Yeah.
Because, he's probably stuttering and don't know what to do. He's stepping out for a cigarette. He's worried Craig's going to go nuts. And
Craig's probably making those little meatballs back there.
yes, you guys love his meatballs. You love his balls. So, I don't know, Bean. Maybe you should call in, explain the trade to us. Is there some crazy stat that Josh Hill has that we don't know about? Like maybe he's the least targeted tight end in the league that should be the most targeted? Or something like Matt Schaub? I don't know. You've done some crazy stuff, but
It doesn't make sense because you dropped him.
He did drop him. You're right. So wait, you did a trade, and you also used another move.
Yeah.
So, boy.
I'm scratching my head, literally.
Yeah.
I'm literally scratching my head.
He is. It's I don't know, Bean, man. You're a confusing individual. You won 2 championships, so just like me. You're falling off, man. You're falling off.
All right, Delling, did we get any voicemails this week?
No, Brian, I'm sad to report that we did not. There's no blinking red light or any annoying noise. I'm disappointed in you guys.
Me too. I mean, one week we at least had 2 calls, and figured we get some more, but...
Thought you guys all want to be part of the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought maybe that would lead to some interviews, some live interviews, but right now it's not looking good. So I'll send out a reminder every Thursday, because maybe you guys just forgot. Give you the benefit of the doubt this week. But hold on, let me check our emails, see if we got anything here. I haven't checked the email account for a while for the podcast. Oh crap, we missed one.
We missed one.
Yeah, it's from Bean.
Oh boy, what's it say?
Here we go. It says, "Hey guys, love the podcast. Thanks.
Thank you.
Just wanted to run this by you. I had a trade offer from Gags.
Another one.
Says he wants to trade Josh Hill and Alan Hearns for Carlos Williams.
Okay, all right.
Should I do the trade? Yes or no?
No, you don't do that trade. When was this sent?
It was sent middle of last week.
Oh, I can't believe we missed a chance to advise our good friend Bean. We
Man.
always love to help you, man. You should just ask. You should just call us.
Sorry, Bean. We should have got to that a little sooner. We'll have to check our email more often. If we could turn back time, that's what we would do. We would definitely try to steer you in the right direction.
We would. I'll tell you what. Maybe we'll instead of a Dolce Spud, I'll get you a $5 beeper. I'll wear that on, and you can give me a call. You can page me.
Kind of like Craig always does when we're doing the show.
Right, yeah. You guys got a podcast? Is the podcast on yet? Now, maybe I should do that with you about the video cast. Hey. FaceTime.
Yep. We'll start at like Tuesday, like 8 o'clock.
Do it while he's working when I know he can't even do it. Dinner over yet? Have you started a little bit of the video cast?
Preview? All right. This week's matchups. All right. The first matchup of the week, we have Huber Squasher versus Vanilla Jeff, who, wow, he was really hoping for that win last week.
He sure was. He was trying, Randall Cobb, like I said.
Yeah, and he almost brought it back, baby. What, was he within like point what? I forget.
I can't
Under
remember.
a point.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. He needed like one catch.
Yep, and he could have had a catch with like, negative yards and still won.
Yeah. Well, when your kicker gets you -1,
Yeah.
that's your fault.
Yeah. Was that Robbie Gold? Like, is that
I don't know. I forget what Craig described. The one guy. No, I don't think it was Robbie Gold. It was the other guy because Craig said Robbie Gold got 0 and he would have won.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
When you lose because somebody got you negative points.
All right. So like
Bad enough when you have a goose egg.
he thought he was being cute.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's going to Seattle. He's not going to have a chance. I'm going to get the other guy and get some points. And wow, it really backfired on him. He could easily be in.
Who was it, Prater?
I think it was Prater, yeah, because they blocked his kick.
Oh, man.
And, that guy's an alcoholic. So he can't kick anymore. Even when you looked at him on the screen, he's bloated and he hasn't shaved in like 4 days. And you just knew, like, Prater is no longer the man that he used to be as far as being a kicker. He's just collecting checks.
Well, looking at this matchup here, I think it's going to be relatively close. I'm going to look at Jeff's team first. Randall Cobb, you gotta love that. I know you do. Against San Francisco,
Randall Cobb.
I think it's gonna be a huge game. Eli's gonna have a tough time. I like Jordan Cameron going up. Well, maybe not that much. Going up against the Jets, that's tough. The Forte, they're gonna have to use a bunch. The Jets might crush Miami. Miami looks horrible this year, which is working out for Tree because he's getting so much garbage time. But I like DeAndre Hopkins a lot this week against Atlanta. I think that could be another shootout. And looking at your team, Steve Smith, tonight he's probably going to put up another 30 points. The guy's insane. I hope he doesn't because I'm starting the Pittsburgh D, but he's been going insane. Randall's going to have a tough sled in there in Buffalo. Your third receiver is kind of a weak point, obviously, with Ty Montgomery. I think Joe Randall's going to have another good game. Abdullah, who knows, probably tough against Seattle. Black Unicorn, not sure about him. Bell, they're gonna be leaning on him big time. And Arizona D's, they've been one of the best D's this year. I think it's gonna be super close, but I think Randall Cobb's gonna bring you your first loss.
Really?
It's gonna be poetic justice
Poetic Justice
for everyone except you.
Oh man, remember that movie Poetic Justice?
I do.
Oh man, what a crazy movie. With Janet Jackson and,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What's the other guy? Tupac?
Yep.
Jeez, oh brother. We don't want to talk about that. Okay, all right. Well, first of all, okay, this is going to be what you think is going to be my first loss. And let me bask in the glory that is first place.
All right, go ahead and bask.
I am 3-0. I'm ahead of Craig. Woo, baby! Woo! Sexy.
Was that a Will Smith
That
move?
was a Will Smith. That was a Independence Day.
Haha, woo!
I mean, my team was so sexy, so sexy. I mean, you guys could not ignore. I'd like to also bring up the point that I have not had a full roster since week 1 ever. I haven't had one yet. I mean, how can we not talk about injuries here? First, Des Bryant.
But you're gonna do this right now. You're 3-0 and you're gonna cry.
I'm just making the point of how great I am to be 3-0. Because listen, my number one receiver in the game, fantasy wise, is Des Bryant. Goes down first week. I persevere. I get the win. Second week, without Des Bryant, I get the win. Third week,
Half a game with Big
I get Le'Veon Bell back. I'm thinking all's right in the world. And then Ben Roethlisberger gets hurt. Now I got the number 1 quarterback in the league out. I still got the win, but it's making things awfully difficult for me.
And the question is, which one of your starters is going down this week? I predict Steve Smith.
Oh, you are just terrible.
I think Mike Mitchell's gonna knock him out.
Oh, come on. We all know Mike Mitchell can't tackle.
He's a bum though, and he's dirty.
He is. Well, I don't know. I do believe bad things happen in threes. I just hope it's something like,
I think bad things happen to bad people.
oh, wow. I'm the nicest guy you can ever meet. I was hoping it happens to like one of the people on my bench. Like, I don't even know. I got nothing.
Roddy White.
Yeah, I hope Roddy White gets hurt. Because I don't know it's Roddy White. He hasn't got a catch in 2 weeks. He's only got 1 target. I mean, that's unfathomable.
It's probably low T.
Probably got low T. You're right. Inconceivable. Well, with that being said, I'm looking at my roster. Yeah, I got Andy Dalton. That was my backup.
Can't like that.
I hit or miss. But at the same thing, I could have easily went and picked up another quarterback and been like, oh, well, maybe he'll throw the ball. But I thought Dalton, he doesn't really throw interceptions or anything like that usually. That I probably just jinked myself even more. So he's going to be my game manager, I guess. I don't know. Ruben Randall.
Are you probably going to go through your whole lineup? We don't have all the time in the world.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Ruben Randall. Probably not the right week. I hope Steve Smith crushes Pittsburgh. But I hope we win. Hope Randall gets another 3 touchdowns. Hope the Black Unicorn flies through Oakland. I hope Le'Veon Bell has a monster day. And I hope Arizona has another repeat 60-point performance.
That's insane.
Yeah, Randall Cobb's the shit. What do you want me to say? All right. Datling by 2 points.
Wow. Okay, you heard it here first. I thought you were going to go against yourself for the first time ever.
Never. All right, our next matchup here is the Mighty Midgets versus the Dub C Hooligans. Now, the projections have been pretty close, but I'm looking through the rosters. It's kind of crazy. Jimmy, your team, you've got a solid team, like a rock solid team. I would definitely say you had some high T football fantasy there. Your running backs, Lacey and Latavius Murray, are rock solid.
Yep.
But then in your receivers too, like Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, you got both of them together again. I don't know if you had them last year, but with Allen Robinson and Rashard Matthews,
Great combination.
it is. Plus you got New York Giants versus Buffalo. I'm looking at Bean's team, and hopefully he's got Foster back. Woodhead there in the flex. Stafford versus Seattle, though that's tough. Your receivers, while I could make fun of them, I won't because mine are worse. But although you do have Carolina versus Tampa Bay, that might help you out. Not to downplay anything, but I'm going to go with Jimmy. He's got Matt Ryan. He's just got a solid team, and it does not appear that bye weeks have affected him at all this week. Bean, you're a big question mark in your head right now. So get yourself well, come back next week, and play again.
So you're pretty much writing him off for this week.
I am, yes. I mean, he's got 3 people on his roster that are questionable, and I believe that right now his dedication towards the team is questionable as well.
Wow, good analysis. I have to agree with you on this one. When you got Allen Robinson going up against Allen Hurns, and that says it all right there for me. And Crabtree, you're starting him over Brandon Cooks. That's tough too. And like you said, Foster may or may not be starting. I do like the Gary Barnage start there. Like he had a couple touchdowns, at least one touchdown last week.
Yep.
So I think that's a solid tight end move for whenever you have to plug and play. But yeah, if I were you, Bean, I'd be really scared. I mean, Jimmy's team, I don't want to play him. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to play him. I hope that whenever we do play, he's got a few people, on buys, because that might be the only way I get by him. Awful. So, good luck to you, Bean. I think you're gonna need it. I think Jimmy Crick takes this one down, wins by 40
Ooh, 40.
at least.
Jeez, oh,
Yeah,
man.
it could be a bloodbath, especially when you got Stafford going to go Seattle.
Yeah. You know what I want to see? I want to see Jimmy's picture be him screaming at Kevin Bean with a football helmet on. Do you imagine what Kevin Bean looks like with a football helmet on?
I don't know, but we could probably make that happen.
We could probably make that happen. Like, just staring across the line. Bean's got that helmet on, and he's got his little flavor saver there below his lip. He might even have like a fedora hat on top of the football helmet.
Are you trying to make him the Andre of the league right there?
Oh no, I mean, if he wants to be the Ruxian, he can be the Ruxian. I mean, that's what he's trying to say he is.
Okay.
But I always viewed it. I mean, I think Bigler was the Ruxpin of the league, and I don't know if you can take that away from people.
Yeah. And Vince is the taco of the league.
Oh yeah, he's always the taco. And I mean, and even though Bean came back and said, "Oh, I don't have fedoras," there's always those pictures of him jumping up in the air in front of the corn farm or whatever it is in Nebraska with his fedora.
You can see his midriff, I think.
Yes, his midriff is hanging out. But God bless you.
Good luck. All right, next matchup, we have FC Bohoric fresh off a win against me. It was the rematch of the Tonto Bowl 12. I was in that, by the way. You never remember who loses.
I know. I'm still looking for. You know how like when the two teams in the Super Bowl or the Tonto Bowl win, one wins, one loses. There's always those leftover T-shirts that are supposed for the ones that are championships. I'm going to all the Gabriel Brothers stores in Pittsburgh. I'm trying to find the
championship,
champion,
Tonto Bowl champions.
yeah, the Tonto Bowl champions, Brian Volsko with a picture of
Detonators,
you,
yeah.
the detonators, and with like a couple of like bombs exploding. But it's very hard to find these. I think they gave them all to the children in Africa.
It's too bad that Jimmy and Jay still don't have their T-shirt business, because they would have something made.
I do wish that was still existing, but I understand two brothers have to split up every once in a while. It's a great team.
It's true.
It's better that they split while still loving each other.
Absolutely. It went out on top.
Yes.
Let's see here. I feel bad for Tree Size this week. Not just because he's playing FC Bohoric, but we were looking at your lineup, and Ellington is very questionable, and it doesn't really look good for him to play. And we were like, oh, let's see who he's going to put in there. You have no one to put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got Brian Quick, who's playing Arizona.
Who's ever going to put that in?
A desperate man.
A desperate man. And who's this other guy? He had like one other possible play, but it wasn't very good.
It was.
Oh, yeah, Charles Johnson
Charles
of Minnesota, who's also questionable.
That's right.
And you said Sammy Watkins is not playing.
Right, yeah. And Charles Johnson's supposed to be big this year, and he hasn't done anything.
He's been a huge bust.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like I don't think Mike Wallace that big of a deal, or have they been throwing to him?
I have Teddy Bridgewater. He got 15 points
that's
last
right.
week. He got 15
gross.
points. They won that game, but he had 15 points. Yeah.
God.
So that tells you they were run heavy. But yeah, Jeremy Maclin, I don't think he's going to repeat what he did. All that stuff this past week was garbage time.
Garbage time.
So I don't think Macklin's going to repeat that. AJ Green, he might be good for a touchdown and 100 yards. So that's one bright spot. Bolden, I don't think is going to do a whole lot. I just don't feel too confident. You're going up against a lot of tough defenses. And on the other side, I think Tyrod Taylor is a huge pickup for Jutt, and I think he's going to get him plus 40 every week. And his receivers are studs. Vincent Jackson's questionable. C.J. Anderson, obviously, he's not doing very well. I couldn't start C.J. Spiller, in good conscience. Right. But I just like his lineup better. I think Justin takes this one down. I think he goes to even. He gives Tree Size his first loss of the year. Do I think Tree Size loses the knockout pool? Maybe.
Wow.
But I definitely think Justin takes the win.
All right, good analysis. Yeah, looking at these two teams, they're kind of evenly matched, but there are tough matchups on Tree Size's side. And then it appears that Justin has adopted the wide receiver heavy concept. I guess Craig has talked him into it.
Too much influence in that kitchen of love.
Yes, there is. But I'm looking at his running backs, and I would not start C.J. Spiller in the regular slot unless I absolutely had to. Your boy C.J. Anderson hasn't done anything. He's going to go against Minnesota. It's a tough run defense. So I think he will continue not to do anything.
Do you think anyone's ever started 2 CJs in our league before?
I don't know. I
doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I was trying to think of another CJ, but I can't come up with one. But he's got some great receivers. But Tree Size has some good running backs that could make up for it. Ingram versus Dallas could be big. Doug Martin versus Carolina could get him some points, 60 yards, touchdown maybe. It all does depend on whether Ellington plays, and that's against St. Louis. But I think that it's going to be a lot of garbage time for Tree Size's people. I think they're going to rack up the points, and I think that Denver actually will be able to stop the run and force them to throw. And you got Aqib Talib throwing, covering your number one receiver, was Mike Wallace probably, right?
Yeah.
And the other guy is very underrated. Harris is going to cover Johnson, so I don't know who they're going to throw to. Kyle Rudolph, I guess. But so I actually think Denver's defense is going to score a lot of points. Granted, Buffalo's playing against Giants.
I bet you Tree Size wishes he had Cal Rudolph right about now.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
He's got Fleener though versus Jacksonville, so he's hoping. I'm going to predict an upset. Well, it's not really an upset if you're 3-0 and he's 1-2. I think that Tree Size wins and Justin goes to 1-3.
Wow. All right, you heard it here first. I really don't think that's going to happen. We'll find out.
All right, our next matchup, we got Springfield Isotopes versus Chips, my boy. Alice Cooper, school's out for summer, is apparently the new logo for the Cubbistics.
Is that because he's scared of Jason's team or what?
I don't know, maybe Halloween inspired,
or he's trying to scare Jason. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's going to take more than an old man with eye makeup to scare Jason. He did work next to his brother all his life, so.
What is that supposed to mean?
Said Jimmy was a little scary.
Okay,
probably
that's true. He's an intimidating.
Yeah, when stressful situations came about, there might have been a couple yelling or something like that, or maybe Jimmy got heated and came at him, and
True.
Jim and Jay was like, "Come at me, bro! Come at me, bro!" Probably not. I don't know if Jay has a mean bone in his body.
For some reason, Jimmy was wearing eye makeup.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't think Jay's ever been heated. Maybe once.
Yeah, he can get fired up.
Can he get fired up?
Oh yeah.
I think the only time he got fired up was when that I know is when he hit that ball foul to win your game in the bachelor party, which looking at the replays definitely shows that it was a foul ball.
I think it was fair.
Yeah, of course you're gonna say it was fair. Anyways, foul ball. Back to the matchup. So we got Peyton Manning. I don't know if you guys see this last week, but when he was playing. When he started to try to make those throws and hard throws, long throws, you could just see that grimace on his face. Yeah. So, like I said, Craig, it's only a matter of time.
Yep.
I just think he's gonna get that noodle arm, and hopefully by then Tony Romo's not there, or maybe hopefully he's not back. Hopefully you get 4 losses before he comes back.
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
It would be, but you got to try out for the receivers: Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, James Jones. Great pickup. Hate you for it. Jarvis Landry. You're going by your wide receiver heavy theory. The 4 horsemen.
Which receiver's missing?
The one that he got in the second round.
Oh, Tate.
Golden Tate.
Wow.
Stay gold, pony boy. Apparently, Craig doesn't want you anymore. Says, go against Seattle. Well, wouldn't you think that would be a perfect matchup if he's a second receiver?
Yep.
But I don't judge. It is kind of funny. I think Craig kind of doomed himself already while he's talking in the video cast, talking about how disgusting his theory is, saying, usually towards playoff time, it's all about the running backs and being carried, but you got to get yourself some wins to get in the playoffs. And then he kind of did his laugh, And I thought to myself, well, if that's true, Craig, I mean, do you really consider making it to the playoffs a success?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What are you going to do if you're in the playoffs and Andre Williams doesn't fall in for a touchdown?
Yeah, what are you, the Pittsburgh Penguins of this league?
Right, exactly. I mean, what are you all flash? No trophy?
Yeah. I'll be the Blackhawks. Thank you very much.
You're going to sexually assault a woman? Is that what you're trying to say, Brian?
No, I just want to get some championships. That's all.
The wrong way. A wrong way.
I do love
sexually Do you? You love Patrick Kane.
I do. He's a
You're
great
gonna
hockey player.
You're going to support a man who sexually assaulted a woman.
Is he guilty?
Possibly. He was at his house.
Possibly.
One thing he's guilty of is a terrible haircut.
He's also guilty of having some insane hand skills.
So it's Crosby.
Stick handling. Yeah.
He never assaulted a woman. Malkin never assaulted a woman.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven. We know how that goes in America. Anyways, back to the matchups, Brian. So Craig has some great people. He's got some bad running backs. Now he's going to start Ryan Matthews, and Murray's going to play anyway. So congratulations there.
Is Murray playing?
That's suspect, probably. Still. And then you go over to the chips for my boy. He's got good receivers, too. Matthews, Cooper, Harvin. He's got some solid running backs. The exact opposite of what Craig has.
That's true.
He's got Peterson, Gordon, Devontae Freeman. Who knew this guy was going to go out
Projected at 20.
Projected at 20. The guy went nuts last week. That's a hard thing to swallow there, the 20 points. I don't see it against Houston's defense with Watt and Clowney and all them. But who knows? I mean, you could be surprised, right?
Yeah.
In this defense, Indianapolis versus Jacksonville can very much rival Seattle's. Believe it or not, I'm taking Chips my boy for the upset.
Wow, that is a little shocking. But it's not shocking that I'm also taking Chips my boy because I never take Craig. It's rare.
I think you took him before.
I have. It's rare. It's rare. Once in a blue moon. But I'm a little shocked that Jay is sitting Sam Bradford. Carson Palmer's having a great year. St. Louis's D is not doing much this year, so I understand it. But I just feel like, they're going up against the Redskins. I think this could be his breakout game, and you might regret having him on your bench, but maybe the point difference won't be too bad. If you want to trade Sam Bradford, I'm open to listening to that. I'd love to have him on my team if you're not going to start him. Jay, I love your receivers, especially Amari Cooper. And like Det said, this is the matchup of running backs versus receivers, pretty much. It's like one theory versus the other. And in this particular scenario, I'm also going Jay. I like what he's got going on, especially with Freeman. I feel like he's still he might catch some passes out of the backfield. Could still run hard. He's not hurt yet.
Didn't he run hard, man? That was just insane production there. I was watching
tough sled.
game.
Yeah.
Tough sled. That guy was a beast.
Yeah, and obviously I want to see Jay work his way out of the basement, get into the playoff hunt. So I think this is his week to do it. Go 2-2, give Craig his first loss of the year, and maybe get some more theory next week when he'll take us to school again, right?
I like it. Yeah. Well, we probably are not going to see a video recap.
Why is that?
Because you must not have listened to it.
I didn't get to the very end. I saw the first 20 minutes. I didn't get to the end.
Him and Jimmy will be down in Disney World. I believe they're probably going to go visit his mom.
Yeah, nice.
I would assume they're taking Sally and the kids.
Yeah.
And be around there. And who knows? He just said he might not have time to do it, or if he does, it'll be a real quick recap, possibly. We'd love a quick recap to see you and Jimmy on the computer.
That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe you guys can do something while you're on the teacups.
Or on the teacups or in the hotel,
Yeah, well, everything would be pretty cool to see a video recap while walking around Disney World. How cool would that be? I mean, this is Craig on special location, just about to go on Space Mountain and have a Transformer somebody come at him. That would make my day, actually.
Yeah, me too. I make that request right now, even if it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you just go down the scores, or I don't know. If you guys go to Harry Potter World. Something like that. I think we're envious of you guys to get to go down to Disney World, Florida, the sun.
You could cast a spell on Detling.
Oh,
that'd be great.
Cast a spell. I don't know where that's going, but yeah. So yeah, what do you predict? I don't know if I predict.
Oh yeah, I predicted Jay for the win.
Did you? Okay, so 2 Jays,
and no Craigs.
No Craigs. All right, next matchup.
Right. Next matchup, we have the 0-3 Raritan Pups, soon to be Raritan Wolves again, hopefully, going up against the Rook 2-1. This is the trade-happy Rook who's gotten 2 trades in 2 weeks. And looking up and down these lineups, as much as I know Jimmy's going to turn the season around, I don't think it's this week quite yet. I think he's got to get some more people healthy. Luck's got to get back on track. He's not quite there yet. So I'm going with the Rook. I don't think I would put Cam Newton in there. I think I'd put in Rivers against Cleveland. But could be could be good with Newton. He's having a good, strong start to the year. His receivers, like Craig's, are pretty sick when you got ODB and Calvin Johnson as your top two. Lance Dunbar in the flex, he's been a PPR machine so far.
Yeah, he's a receiver.
Yeah, and now he's got DeMarco Murray in there. It's going to be his first week with the Rook. I'm sure he's psyched to see what he can do. Carlos Williams, another stud running back rookie, going up against Giants. Have a decent run defense, but we'll see. Still got the Kelsey tight end, so I think he's got a solid lineup. Jimmy, as we pointed out before, his wide receivers, there's some stuff to be desired there. Lynch, hopefully, is healthy, and hopefully Hill gets back on track. I just don't think he's going to be able to put up enough to compete with the Rook this week. But, I mean, I hope that Jimmy pulls out the win. I just feel like it's going to be the Rook. So, what do you think?
I feel it's pretty tough right here. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Jimmy has Derek Carr in, or David, whatever, he's a Carr, and Luck on the bench.
Yeah.
And the Rook has Newton in and Phillip Rivers on the bench. It's like, what's going on? So, but I mean, hey, I don't know. Cam Newton, he has nobody, so he could run a lot. He can get a touchdown. It wasn't this week, I don't think, but did you see that one play where Cam Newton literally jumped and did a forward flip into the end zone?
I did not. This year?
Yeah, this year it was amazing.
Wow.
The guy went to jump somebody and somebody hit him and he did his full front forward flip, landed on his feet.
That's insane.
For a touchdown.
That's Superman for you, man.
Dude, yeah, it was impressive. Is this beyond words? This is what I could say. Now, yeah, Raritan Pups has a hodgepodge of receivers.
Yeah.
It's hard to look at them.
It is.
The best one, I think, is Moncrief. Solid running backs, but they're not performing.
Mm-hmm.
Lynch and Hill. Lynch has just been hurt. Hill's, I don't know what's going on. Graham is good. Your defense versus Washington could be very good for you. Just going over to the Rook, though, man. Like you said, Odell Beckham Jr. should be lights out. Calvin Johnson versus Seattle might not get you anything.
That's true.
DeMarco Murray might not get you anything either. He said Dunbar might be good for 10 catches for 100 yards again. You know what? I'm looking at this, and you might be ready to be shocked, but I'm going to pick Jimmy.
I am shocked.
You are shocked?
I am shocked.
Jimmy's defense, I think, might win it for him because Kansas City versus Cincinnati, they might not get much.
It's true. And Carr's been having a great year, with Amari Cooper, and Chicago's got nothing going. So
All right, I'm just looking at the matchups here. I'm trying to play it. Devil's advocate, maybe. Yeah, but this might be the year this might be the game that the Pups get a little bit bite back.
they need it.
They do need it, yes.
And now, the matchup of the week. Dylan,
What? Oh,
wake up.
matchup of the week time? Oh, okay, we got Twerk Kabisic versus the Detonators. 0-3 versus 0-3. Snoozeville, baby. What's that line? No can do. Snoozeville, baby. Oh, boy. Has it come to this? Has it come to this? This is a tough one, Brian.
It is.
So, I mean, gosh, what do you guys got to say for yourselves? Let's look. I mean, obviously, it's hard being 0-3 and having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. That'd be. I don't know if I'd be able to deal with that. Receivers, Fitzgerald, who's having monster weeks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year.
Fountain of Youth, or is it Carson Palmer? We don't know. Who's another old man.
Yeah.
Garcon, and how does Benjamin keep scoring touchdowns?
I don't know.
John Stewart, TJ Yeldon, that's nothing to write home about. Eifert didn't have a catch last week. Old man Gore.
He found the end zone.
He did a couple times. St. Louis versus Arizona could be good. Looking over your team, you got Russell Wilson versus Detroit. All right. We got Sanders, Evans, Hilton, monster receivers. Should be monster receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good week last week, just couldn't get in the end zone.
Yeah. You've made the right choice by deciding to go with one Washington running back instead of two.
Yeah.
And I think Matt Jones might be the right one. Alfred Blue, hoping that Foster just doesn't start and you can take advantage of Bean's mess up. And you got Heath versus Baltimore tonight. We know he loves to play against Baltimore.
True.
We got Jamal Charles. The guy's a freak, man. Do you know that he was once in the Special Olympics?
I didn't know that.
No, yeah, they showed a thing of him speaking at, I believe it might have been the Special Olympics Awards, and he talked about how when he was younger, probably like 5 or 7 years old or something like that, he had I think he had a speech impediment. No, he had a learning disability.
Wow.
And Special Olympics gave him his first opportunity to compete.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very cool to see him stand up and talk about that, and it's kind of amazing. I kind of felt bad for the other kids. I mean,
That's unfair.
yeah, you're like 5 or 7 years old, and you got this Jamal Charles, future NFL star running back, shows up to compete against you in the Special Olympics. Gosh, man, I mean, thank God everybody gets a medal.
That's like Ladybugs, the movie, whatever the
Yeah.
boy dressed up as a girl. Just
Wow,
to
you
win
brought
the
back
game.
Ladybugs. Hey, man, high five on that. One of my favorite movies back in the day. Gosh, that guy killed himself anyway.
I did not.
Jeez, yeah, that's depressing. Ooh, he went from Special Olympics to suicide. All right, back to the matchups. Pittsburgh defense going to definitely step up against Baltimore. They have to.
Hopefully.
And Hauschka.
He's been money.
He has. Oh, when I was in Seattle, believe it or not, tons of people had Hauschka jerseys.
Really?
Yeah, like I was at the train after the Mariners game. I looked, and there was like 3 Hauschka jerseys.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like you think Lynch and Wilson,
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham now, or even
Yeah.
Sherman, but I was like, there's a ton of Hauschka jerseys. Which
You
I
don't
was
see
thought,
a lot of kicker respect.
no, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, Hauschka gets respect, man. He commands it. Well, looking over the matchup here, I really think, gosh, I think it's Twerk Kavicic.
Really?
I think he's gonna win.
What's going to put him over the top?
I think it's Aaron Rodgers, man. Comparable to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
And St. Louis versus Arizona. Well, you know what?
Is he going to retract his statement?
Man. All right, I'm flipping it. I'm going to Brian.
I don't know. That's
I went and looked at Rodgers, and I was like, yeah, it's gotta be Twerk Kavicic. And I looked at the rest of the roster, and it's like nothing stood out. And I went to your roster, and I saw 3 great wide receivers in Jamal Charles. So I'm going to bet that your team has enough to overcome Aaron Rodgers.
I really hope so. And I hope it starts tonight with Pittsburgh D and Heath Miller. Hopefully he'll be a little check down, for Michael Vick.
That sounds so weird to hear. That's so weird.
It is weird, and I'm not crazy about saying it, but
Victor
whatever.
Miller.
Uh-huh. But you're right. Once you get past Aaron Rodgers, nothing really stands out. I mean, Frank Gore stands out a little bit, but everything else is like they were good at one point, but no longer. And Yeldon hasn't proven himself yet. Eifert, he's never really proven himself either. A couple touchdowns here and there, but St. Louis D has not lived up to what they're supposed to be yet.
Yeah, I mean, get this team a walker because it's full of old dudes.
This is true. And for those of you who don't know, Josh recently got a new job, and I'm not sure the name.
Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah, way to go, Josh. I don't know the name of the company, but I know that he works with Pyrex, the famous glass cookingware. And
I've heard good things about that.
and I feel like I think Stacy said that he got like a 45-piece Pyrex set as like a signing bonus.
No way.
Yeah, I swear. And maybe-
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Josh maybe can call in and confirm that.
Which he will use none of.
Yeah, he might. He cooks a little bit.
I was going to say Stacy, which he probably doesn't use it either. Can you please bring it here so Crystal can use it?
She actually was jealous when she heard about that.
Which I bet.
But anyways, I want to use that Pyrex as an analogy because I can kind of see right through your team. And I'm going to see that team and I'm going to drop it on the cement floor. And it's going to shatter. It's going to shatter into a million pieces, just like your confidence for the rest of this year.
Wow.
I'm going to make your team 0-4, and you will have no chance of gluing those pieces back together to make any kind of a run to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Sorry.
And once you are knocked out of the playoffs contention, Brian will buy you a Farberware set for $15.
That's really good. But yeah, I hope my receivers come through this week, including Charles and the flex. And if I can get more than 4 points on my running back position, I feel pretty good about that. I just wish I had a better quarterback than Wilson. So if something doesn't happen this week, I might have to make a crazy trade with Gags.
Oh, man, everyone's... yeah, true. Also, congratulations on the new car that you put up on Facebook.
yeah.
Stacy had the new BMW. Well, it's not new, but I don't know what year it is. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I did notice that there was a scratch or it looked like somebody keyed the front bumper.
Really?
Yeah, did you see that? Like right on the driver's side. So maybe you can call and tell us we're wrong or something, or maybe it's just like a smudge. But it did look like that you bought damaged goods.
Only deadly when they call you out on a BMW on a podcast.
I'm just saying that when you buy a car, there should not be a scratch on it.
The guy whose car, like his window, like didn't roll up for like a year.
Was that the Probe? Oh no, that was the Scion.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it was, and then one day it just rolled up. It was really weird.
At least Josh's cars have working windows.
Wow, well, it's better. It's a BMW. But I mean, I'm just saying that maybe if Josh probably got some of the price knocked down a little bit for the scratch. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very nice looking car. It's a BMW. So I'm just saying, it's got a scratch on it.
I'm glad you brought that up in our matchup.
Just saying, I don't know, bro. I mean, you got your what do you got? Nissan Sentra. When you bought the car, it was brand new.
It's true.
Came with a subwoofer, right?
Yeah, it's
not a scratch on it. It was a beautiful car.
Not
Beautiful.
so much anymore.
Well, I mean, you've gotten your use out of it.
That's true.
I mean, you bought it brand new. You're running it into the ground. There wasn't a scratch on it. If I would put the Nissan Sentra, brand new Nissan Sentra next to a used BMW with a scratch on it, probably take the Nissan Altima with a subwoofer. I mean, I'd be like, pump up the bass, baby.
Maybe
Let's
that's what we'll
drive
do
away.
next week. We'll just like match up cars. Car match of the week.
That could be interesting. Well,
Yeah.
everybody call in. Tell us what kind of car you have, and we're gonna pick the winners on which car we think is better.
And when I play you, I'm going to put my scooter up against you.
Oh, what, George? Get out.
Gary.
Gary. Oh, Gary. Go for it. I mean,
He'll crush the Scion.
I will run you over with the Scion.
Whatever, I'll give you a flat tire.
That's just mean.
All right.
I'll poop in your Cheerios.
That's awful. All right, I think that's enough for 1 week.
All right, so we both agree that we think the Detonators are going to win. I mean,
Are you going to flip flop again?
no,
Okay.
I'm not flipping. My final decision is Detonator. I'm just looking at the league. Like, the league is just, like Craig said, it's kind of like set into 3 tiers or whatever. Like, there's
True.
3 3-0s or whatever, 3 0-3s, and there's like a couple 1-1s, and maybe there's 4 tiers, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing. Usually we're all tight and compact, and this year it's kind of like separating really quickly.
Yep, it's the haves and the have-nots. So
Yeah, we have a lot of people, like Brian did bring up about the major injuries.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks, receivers. We have. I don't know if I can remember a league where so many injuries have happened so fast.
so quickly, yeah.
So hopefully it does not happen tonight. Knock on wood.
Steve Smith gets hurt.
Please do not get hurt. Come on, man.
old.
It's Steve Smith's last year. He has stated it.
Let's
Let
end
him
it
go.
early.
Let's go. No, let's go out on top, man. Steve Smith is a good guy. He's got like 7 kids. Trying to be a family man.
To the same woman?
I think it is the same.
wow,
one,
good for
actually.
him.
Yeah, good for him. Good for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how can you not like Steve Smith?
I don't know. Probably because he's a Raven now. I mean,
Come on.
I liked him more when he was a Panther.
Oh yeah, but we brought the same type of play
Yeah.
to the Ravens.
I do like him. He's a small guy,
Yeah.
stud receiver.
Stud receiver.
Yeah,
Hopefully-
5'10".
I don't know. He looks like he's 5'8".
Yeah.
I saw him play when he was bent down over in the huddle. It was hilarious. Everyone's like all these giants.
That's true. Well, let's just hope that somebody from Dentley's team gets hurt tonight.
Wow, that's just wow. Come on, man. You serious? That's just hard. I mean, what if if somebody gets hurt? I'll take the injury as long as they get a win. Because that's what it
Every
seems to be
week,
like every
yeah.
week.
Eventually, you will have nobody to play.
Yeah, I'm surprised Craig is like on the video cast laughing about this more and more.
I think he will be.
They're like, "How does Deli do this?" And he's just like, "Look at him! You got nothing. Like he's got a Cracker Jack box here, a safety pin and avocado, and he's still winning the league. He's the MacGyver of fantasy football.
All right, you ready, Deli?
I'm always ready.
Go!